Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Dr. Larry Levanka, and I have the opportunity to host this live Q&A today. We'll get started in a few moments. Post your questions in the chat, and we'll be sure to get them. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock. I'm going to start the chat at this point. Again, my name is Dr. Larry Levanka. I am the Executive Director of Public Relations, Community, and Cultural Affairs. And one of the responsibilities I have at the institution is serving as the executive in charge of overseeing commencement. In other years, this role has some very different connotations to it. Obviously, this year is very different, but we're excited nonetheless. And we've said it time and time again that this will be the most global, the most social, and the most unique commencement of all time. And we certainly believe that. And at the same time, we realize that the class of 2020, there may be some disappointment out there. We realize you want to have an in-person ceremony, and we do too. You know, we're not alone in that. But unfortunately, given the pandemic and social distancing guidelines, there is simply no way that we can have a in-person gathering at MetLife Stadium. And quite frankly, it doesn't look like we would be able to have an in-person gathering anytime soon at MetLife. So there was some talk initially, maybe moving commencement to a later date. But as the pandemic has progressed, I would say it's very unlikely that any kind of large in-person gathering is going to take place anytime soon. As far as the class of 2020, some of the things that you guys have been asking about, caps and gowns, we've been working with the bookstore to try and come up with a solution for that. We realize that you may want to hold on to your cap and gown as a souvenir or as a memento, and we're working with the bookstore to figure all of that out. As far as your diploma, there's been a few questions already asked in the chat, but your diploma will be sent to you just as it normally would. What we do with your diploma is you get that once you've obviously graduated and fulfilled all the requirements. We send you the diploma in the mail to your home within a month or so of commencement, so you can expect a package from the college at some point in June. So that's the diploma, and the caps and gowns matters. As far as the virtual commencement, the look and feel of it will be very much like a traditional commencement. We have a grand marshal, we have our president serving as the MC, there'll be plenty of pomp and circumstance, we have government officials, the county executive, Jim Tedesco, the freeholder chair, Mayor Amoroso, and keynote speaker, Senator Cory Booker, providing the keynote address. So, you know, all of those things will be there just as they normally would. The valedictorian, Mache Shaiwai, will provide remarks. The SGA, class of 2020 president, Bernadette Duran, she'll provide remarks. We will have the graduates' names read. I hope you all submitted your photo and message to the software program that we had distributed over the last month or so. So we'll have the names read, and it'll, again, very much look like a commencement ceremony. So figure that the ceremony will take about 2 hours, and the bulk of that is going to be the reading of the names. They're going to be alphabetical, so if you are a U or a V or a W, you'll be at the end, and if you're an A, B, or C, you'll obviously be at the beginning. There's more than 2,500 names that are going to be read, so it'll take a little while to get through, but remember, for each graduate and their family and friends, that's the most important part of the ceremony. So obviously be patient, and we'll certainly get to your name. We're going to publish the commencement program, which has all of the names of graduates in there and everything that would normally be in a commencement program. We're going to publish that coming up on Monday. So to watch the ceremony, what you're going to do is check your Bergen email, check all of the college's social media accounts, check bergen.edu. You'll get the link for the live YouTube stream, which will go live on Monday at 5:30 p.m. And that'll be sent to your Bergen email on Monday at some point. So that kind of handles the virtual commencement ceremony. If there's some questions that you have in the chat, feel free to post them. I'd be happy to answer them. I see there's a question here about if you already got your associates in September as a December grad, in December as a December grad, is that the same thing as the diploma? Well, the diploma is what you actually get once you've graduated. So if you've already received your diploma, if you were a December grad, then no, you wouldn't receive another diploma. Can you get a copy of the video for at a later date? Yeah, so that'll be as soon as we're done with the live stream. It'll be posted on our YouTube page, and you'll be able to visit that. You'll be able to share the link all around the world and use that hyperlink for as long as YouTube is around, which I think it's a part of our life forever going forward. So we'd be happy to share that with you. Some other things about commencement. This is the biggest day of the academic year. We always say that, and we're excited about this. This virtual commencement. It's different. It's new for us, just as it's new for you. But we think we're going to do a great job of celebrating the class of 2020, and I also wanted to let you know that we're working on other possibilities of celebrating the class of 2020. So we're not going to just say goodbye to you and never see you again after this. If there is any way that we can do some other things to celebrate the class of 2020, we will do that. We're having those conversations, and we'll certainly keep you in the loop on all of that. But again, it all kind of depends on the pandemic and social distancing guidelines and whatever the federal government, whatever the state government and county government for that matter, whatever they're saying, because we're in this for the long haul with COVID-19, and obviously many things are going to be different than they were before. Another question in the chat, how many students are graduating? There's more than 2,500 names that will be read, and then there's another 60 or so that came in after the names started to be compiled. So in all, there's going to be like 2,600 students that have their name as part of Commencement 2020. Now, will all of them actually graduate? Well, I hope you guys did well on your finals, because remember, they're candidates for graduation. They're not officially graduated yet until everything is blessed there. So as far as getting a copy of the program, we will publish that as a PDF. And you'll be able to share that. You'll be able to hold on to that. If you want to print your own copy of it, by all means, you can certainly do that. There's a question here, will we get an actual email confirming our graduation before the actual date? I'm not sure if I know what that means, other than I'm assuming that you've applied for graduation and you've submitted all the paperwork. You're asking if there's an email that would be sent saying, yes, you're going to be a graduate. I don't believe we send an email that confirms that you're a graduate or not, but we can certainly look into that. And as I said, you will get your diplomas in the mail in June sometime. So as far as any other questions in the chat, keep them coming. I'll hang out here for a little while. I see there's about 24 of us that are watching this stream, and I'm glad that you're doing so. This is new ground for all of us. Although we've done a lot of video for the college in past years, nothing has quite been like this. So a few more. Does Bergen do a yearbook? Bergen used to do a yearbook when it first opened. Very, I'd say, K through 12, but no, the college has not done a yearbook in a long time. So no, the college does not offer a yearbook. But let's see, how will we get our diploma cover? So the diploma cover is one of those things that we're still working on and seeing if that's something that we can have provided. In past years, not every graduate received a diploma cover. The only graduates that received a diploma cover were those who actually attended commencement. And since there is no in-person ceremony this year, we're still working through all of those logistics. So still to be determined on that. We should be publishing some more information on some of that stuff soon, but do give us some leeway there to figure everything out. As far as other questions, I don't see anything else in the chat right now, but I hope this has been valuable for you guys so far. I hope this is something that you are excited about. Obviously, your commencement. And I hope that we're doing everything we can to try and make this as normal as possible in what is a very abnormal situation. So we appreciate your support. We appreciate you attending Bergen Community College, and you're a part of our Bergen family now and forever. So you mean a lot to us. So I hope you all go out and conquer the world and get some great jobs and help. Will there be a mention for the Phi Theta Kappa members in the virtual program? So I'm not going to say there's going to be a direct mention for the Phi Theta Kappa members, but you will definitely see some references to Phi Theta Kappa in the virtual program or in the virtual ceremony. And in the program, the commencement PDF document, there is a listing of PTK members and awards and things that have been won. But again, there will definitely be some references to PTK. If you didn't know, we have one of the best PTK chapters in the entire world. We're very proud of that. So yes, there will be some references to PTK in the ceremony. Karen, we'll definitely keep trying to make sure if we can do an actual event in some way, shape, or form, we will. But again, that remains up for debate. I mean, even if we said, hey, let's do it in 2021, there's no guarantee that that would even work at this point. Again, there's really no end in sight to this pandemic, and as far as a big in-person gathering at a place like MetLife Stadium, who knows when we're going to be able to do something like that again. So we'll see what we see, and again, even if we don't get to do an in-person ceremony, that doesn't change the fact that you guys are important to us. The class of 19, or excuse me, the class of 20 is important to us. Another question here, Bergen. Let's see, graduation signs. There's a question, putting them on lawns. And that's a great idea, no doubt. But unfortunately, there are costs associated with all of this. And yard signs are one of those things that if you start to do the math, if we were to do it for 2,600 students, that would be quite costly. And especially at a time where finances for higher education are in a perilous state, we have to be mindful of the dollars that we spend, not just on the class of 2020, but on the students and the community that we serve. So graduation yard signs are a great idea, but unfortunately, it's not something that we're going to be able to do. But I love the idea, and we did look into it. But unfortunately, it's cost prohibitive, which I'm sure you can understand at this point and in time. As far as how long your slide will be up for, so I'm not sure of the actual timing, but it'll definitely be a few seconds. And one of the things I would suggest is you can screen cap, and you can scrub to your place in the ceremony, screen cap the slide, and then you'll have the slide forever. And again, it's YouTube, so you can play it over and over and over again if you really wanted to. Lou Debray, who, by the way, folks, if you didn't know, his sister was the valedictorian some years ago, and she is one of the finest Bergen Community College students of all time. I mean, she was a Jack Kent Cooke undergraduate transfer scholarship winner. She's in medical school right now, and just a wonderful, wonderful person who I remain in contact with because she was a special person to this college, and I want to see her do great things. But anyway, Lou has a question about phonetic pronunciations. Yes, there was the ability to add those in the marching order software program, which is closed at this point, but students did have that opportunity. So, when you have a name like mine, which is Lavanka with an H, I've been called Halvanka and all kinds of different things throughout my life. So I understand the need for pronunciations for sure. So students did have that opportunity, and more than 600 students actually took advantage of doing that, which hey, given everything that we've seen, that's pretty cool that 600 students uploaded a photo, their pronunciation, the personal message that they wanted to submit. So let's see, we have about 19. We have 19 people in the chat now, which is great. Seems like the questions keep coming in. Again, I hope this has been valuable for you. I hope you're enjoying this opportunity to interact with me and giving me a little respite in my day to actually talk to some students and have an interaction with you guys, because geez, we haven't had the opportunity to do things like this lately. Rosalie, she just said that she appreciates it, and we appreciate you guys. And as I said before, we were disappointed for the class of 2020 because of this, and my goodness, everything that's going on because of the pandemic. But we still wanted to make sure that we celebrated the class of 2020, and we did everything we could to make this a memorable experience and to send the class of 20 off into the world that has obviously changed. But it's a new world out there. So thank you for the note, and that's appreciated on our end as well, because we want to try and do everything we can to support our students. Not seeing any other chat questions right now, which is, I suppose, a good thing. I guess we're cutting through all of the questions that you guys have, which is just great. I'll keep this up until about 12:30, and then at that point I'll probably sign off. But the big news again is remember that we are going to go live on Monday, May 18th at 5:30 p.m. virtual ceremony here on YouTube. You'll be able to chat, be able to cheer virtually and celebrate with us as we go through this. Another question from Peter. Besides the reading, what's going to go on is, so GradFest, no, there will be no GradFest. GradFest is traditionally used to, give you guys your caps and gowns and, settle some outstanding issues. Maybe if you have a hold on your account, those kinds of things. Without a in-person ceremony, no, there won't be a GradFest. As far as the ceremony itself, what will it look like? I'll kind of go through that again for those that may not have been here at the outset, but you can expect that there will be remarks from government leaders. There will be speeches from the valedictorian, the student government president. There's obviously our keynote speaker, Senator Cory Booker, who's just an amazing champion of New Jersey, really, and our people. So, you can expect to see all those kinds of things at commencement in the ceremony. And of course, the most important part is the reading of the graduates' names, which will take place as part of that ceremony. So that's what commencement will look like. It, in a way, will be very much like if you were to watch our videos of commencement that we've had for years and years, and that we've put on YouTube. Of course, you don't really see the crowd during those, obviously, but you see the speeches, you see the reading of the names, you see all these different things. And our commencement that will be virtual this year is going to look very much like that. So that's what you can expect as far as our commencement ceremony. You can expect some surprises for sure. There's some things in there that I don't want to spill the beans on quite yet, but we think that it'll make for a nice ceremony for the class of 2020, and celebrate the group in a virtual way. So we see that our numbers are declining in the chat and participating in this. So I suppose that means that we've done a good job of getting the information out there about what our commencement is going to look like. Another question on the valedictorian. Yes, valedictorian will address the class of 2020. Maciej Shaiwai, who is really great young man. He's going to be speaking. He has done his remarks. His remarks are terrific. He's an inspiring guy, and he's a frontline healthcare worker. So, really somebody that's at the center of this national crisis. So you can expect to see him, and he will have something very meaningful to say to the class of 2020. So yes, we will have a valedictorian, and focusing on that fact, Maciej is not just a frontline healthcare worker, but he's a 4.0 student. 4.0 is not easy. I mean, you can do really well in college, and get an occasional B along the way, and to get an A in every class that you've ever taken is really something to be proud of. Another question. The virtual program, yeah, so the virtual ceremony, the link to the virtual ceremony, and the link to the virtual program, the PDF that lists all the names and all that, the book, if you want to call it that, traditional commencement book, that will be emailed to everyone, faculty, staff, students, and out to our community members that we also send things to. So the government leaders, other New Jersey college presidents, etc. They'll all receive both the virtual ceremony link and the commencement program or book, whatever you want to refer to it as. So not too many other chat questions here, which is a good thing. I'm glad to see that we're answering questions, and I'll reiterate once again that we realize this is not the commencement that you thought you would have when you enrolled at Bergen 2 years ago or 3 years ago or even longer than that, but we are committed to making this event special. And trying to do everything we can to celebrate the class of 2020. So, we're excited for you. We're excited for the college. This is a different time in a lot of ways for all of us, where we're trying to do things that are different and have a little bit different vibe than they usually would. So we're excited to roll this out as well, and who knows what it means for the future. So. We have a few more minutes left before 12:30, and I see our participants are continuing to decline. So I'll again take that as a good thing. I'm glad that we're getting the information out that you're interested in. Trying to think of anything else that we may have glossed over, or anything else that I can reiterate about commencement. Hashtag Bergen Grad, that'll be included on all of the materials that we send out for commencement. But if you hashtag Bergen Grad on the day of commencement, you can share that on all the social media channels, on our Instagram or Twitter, Facebook, etc. We have some great social media presence that has recently been relaunched. And a lot of credit there goes to a member of the Office of Public Relations. Her name is Jessica Fagnoli, and she's doing just a fantastic job with social media. And I hope you guys continue to interact with her and like our posts and share them and all of that. So don't forget to hashtag Bergen Grad on the day of commencement. If you can't join us on Monday, May 18th at 5:30. Don't worry, the video will be up on YouTube. You'll be able to watch it. You'll be able to scrub through the video, find your graduate, your son, your daughter, your friend, whomever. We're going to have the live chat, very similar to what we have right now. So you'll be even able to watch the live chat in real time if you're familiar with how that works on YouTube. So even if you can't watch it in real time at 5:30, you'll still be able to watch it live on your schedule whenever that may be. So, there's some differences here with the virtual ceremony, right? I mean, it's not what you expected, but there are some advantages to it, and there's some ways to celebrate that normally we just wouldn't have the opportunity to do. So, we're going to keep trying to innovate and be progressive. I mean, for years now, the college has put a lot of interest and technology behind its digital outreach. And for those of you that watch our programs, Studio Bergen, our vignettes that we post, we try and make this college a leader when it comes to production in that regard. And we have a great staff in media technologies that produces some great videos for us and does a good job alongside my staff in PR. So, we're happy to do that, and it really did put us in a position for this commencement to deliver something. You don't want to take that for granted. There's a lot of colleges right now that are scrambling to figure out how to pull this off, and it's it's not going well in some cases. So we're lucky in that regard. A question just came in regarding caps and gowns and tassels. We did touch on this earlier, but caps and gowns we're still trying to figure that out with our provider in the bookstore and figure out what exactly we can do when it comes to caps and gowns and tassels. Graduates will receive their diploma for sure. That will come in the mail. And as far as anything else is concerned, we are working through those contingencies. Keep in mind, caps, gowns, tassels, that kind of thing, diploma covers. In the past, they're only given to students that come to commencement. Since there is no commencement ceremony this year in person, again, we're still working through how we can make that happen, if we can make that happen. So stay tuned, and if there's more information on that, we'll certainly pass it along. Figure we have about 3 more minutes left before we close this at 12:30. I appreciate all of you who have joined us today, who joined us in the chat, and everybody that's had questions. And again, I hope you've found this opportunity valuable, and I hope you're getting something out of it. And I say it a lot in different forums, but students, you guys are our best ambassadors. I hope you go into the community and talk about your Bergen experience and how great it was. And I hope when it comes to commencement, you spread the word as well and say, that this is happening and you should watch. So we want to see a lot of people in that chat on Monday night and a lot of people excited about the class of 2020. As far as some new questions in the chat, updates on the cap, gowns, and diploma covers, as soon as we have information there, we'll pass it along. I don't have a hard date for you. So Lou's saying that it will be commencement will be an event to remember forever. Absolutely. So again, talking about ambassadors and cheerleaders, Lou is a very good one. And for those of you in the STEM program, the great work that he's done and the great work that those students have done in that area. So when he says something, take it to heart because it matters. We're going to close this up probably in 1 more minute unless there's any other questions. This has been fun. I enjoyed doing this. I'm happy to be the front-facing person for commencement today. Greg Fenghart in Student Life has done some of these in previous weeks, and he has done a great job. Always does a great job on commencement, and he's done a great job for many years at the institution. So, a special shout out to him and the entire Student Life staff. So, I think this is probably going to be our last Q&A before commencement. We'll see you again on Monday night at 5:30, and make a party out of it. I mean, even for my wife and my son, I said, we're going to get some pizza, and we're going to have our own commencement party here. And I'll be happy when it's all wrapped up, because that means that it went well, and we celebrated the class of 2020. So we're going to have a pizza party. So Samantha, thank you. Thank you. You know, that means a lot to us. That means a lot to me. You know, there's a lot of people at the college that work very hard on these kinds of things, and you know, it's gratifying to know that it's appreciated. So thank you, Samantha, and you know, congratulations as a member of the class of 2020. Peter, the same. Congratulations as a member of the class of 2020. So we're ticking down here to 12:30, and without any other questions coming in. Actually, this is really good. Greg, post the student life email address. If you have any other questions in the meantime, be sure to email studentlife@bergen.edu, and they'll certainly help you out. There's great people in that area. Bricks or Vision, congratulations to you too as a member of the class of 2020. So, and I see Peter here. Peter is a culinary student. You know, Peter, I will give you my word. Okay, here's the deal. When you go out into the world and you become a chef, which I'm assuming that's your line of work, I want you to email me, okay? And I will come to have dinner wherever you work. If it's a fine dining restaurant, wherever it is that you own someday, wherever you cook, I will be there. So you send me an email, you find my email address on bergen.edu, and I'll be there when you get hired. And that's my deal to you. You can email me at LHLA, V as in Violet, E, N as in Nancy, KA @bergen.edu. So wherever you go and wherever you roam in this world, I'll come have a meal made by you. So Peter, that's my deal to you. Richard, congratulations as well as a member of the class of 2020. So I think we're going to wrap this up here at 12:31. Again, everyone, congratulations, and thanks for doing this. And we appreciate that you were here for it today, because it says that you guys are invested in commencement. And just want to say thank you to, again, everybody involved in the commencement effort, Greg Fenkart, Student Life, Jolie Nelson, everyone in all of these areas, Lynn Richardson. There's so many people to name, and I don't want to forget anybody, so I'll cut it there. But a lot of people involved in commencement, a lot of people did hard work, but none harder than the class of 2020. And I wish you a very hearty congratulations, and we will see you Monday night at 5:30 p.m. Thanks, and take care.